Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Drunkard's Walk, the podcast. When last we saw our heroes, they were trapped in the Falkirk wheel. That's right. Matt and Jethro had a boat that they needed to lift 24 meters. And fortunately, the Falkirk wheel was able to help them. Isn't that right, Matt? Isn't that right, Matt?
I'm thinking about it. I don't think that is right. I mean, I think that the last time that they talked to us, we were just on a podcast and we were in our homes. We were recording. We weren't in the Falkirk. That was the topic, I
You're
guess.
Such a literalist. Come with me on this journey of exploration and joy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That sounds good. Yeah. Okay. We were in the Falkirk wheel. It was so wet.
Sounds patronizing when you do it.
Oh, didn't mean for it to.
That's right. You're a dad. It's hard not to sound patronizing.
I like that you set us up right from the beginning by saying that this isn't going to be an exciting episode, because that sets the expectations exactly where I want them to be, higher than they should be.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. This episode is going to change some lives. This episode is either going to bring you to Jesus or send you away from him.
Wow.
Wherever you are, you're going to be at the opposite end of the religious scale at the end of this episode. That's how powerful it's going to be.
You know, I just read that Ozzy Osbourne's family got COVID, but he didn't, and he thanked Satan for protecting him. Well, he said that worshiping Satan is what saved him from getting COVID.
I'm sure it's probably the number of bats he's bitten into that he's built up a natural immunity to
could be
diseases born of bats.
That is certainly a possibility, and a good one at that.
Indeed. So Matt, you know, because you've been on this crazy journey with me all this time, but a first-time listener might not know what this podcast is all about. And what we do is we go from one place in Wikipedia to a randomly chosen another place in Wikipedia, but we can only get there by clicking the internal Wikipedia links. And it sounds like we'd be lost in the desert for 40 years searching for connections between randomly selected topics, but that's not true. We do it on average like 5 or 6 links, and it's incredible that the miracle happens each time. Well, not each time, most times.
Our average actually overall is down to 5.15, and our average this season is at 4.6.
Oh my gosh. Well, I tell you what, I think reversion to the mean is going to kick in here at some point, and we're going to have slightly longer episode. But Matt, we know where we're ending. We know where we're starting this week, because we ended there last week, but we have no idea where we're going. And for that, in order to prevent it just from being a series of different facts about Star Trek, we need to bring somebody else on the podcast.
But can't we?
Oh, don't worry. You'll find a way of shoehorning them in, I'm sure.
Okay.
But just so that they aren't the only pages we visit, we need randomly selected friends of ours. And this week we have the special, delightful guest. Not only is he a human that we know from improv, but he also provided a fantastic graphic design of the Drunkard's Walk logo. Please welcome Nick Jaramillo to the podcast.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Nick.
Hello, Nick.
Hey, how's it going?
Super duper. How you doing?
Yeah.
Good. Thanks for having me on your podcast.
Well, it's our pleasure.
Yeah, it is. And it's kind of, as Jethro said, it's kind of like you're there all the time, because you designed that awesome graphic that we have that's our logo. So anybody that's seen it, if you're subscribing to us, which we hope you all are, you'll see that logo. And if you go to our website or our Patreon or any of the Facebook page, there it is, man. It's plastered everywhere.
That's right.
It's it's my way of being here without actually having to be here. You know, I'm off making deals, hanging out on beaches, stuff like that. But the logo's there, so it's like I'm there.
Yeah, I mean, we came up with the idea of doing a podcast that was the least amount of prep necessary, and you got in with the least amount of participation necessary. And I think that was a wise choice.
You're
a good thing.
You really trumped our ace there. Yeah. Well done.
Right. Oh yeah. I mean, design. It's the lazy man's work, really. I mean.
We even have it on the glasses that we're drinking from right now. We have the Drunkard's Walk logo etched on our glasses, thanks to last season's little wager that we had going between us. So yeah, we love it, and thank you for doing it.
And maybe it's even redundant that I'm here. I'm gonna bail out. I mean, you guys have the logos. I'm gonna get out of your hair. Been great.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Thanks for doing that. That ruins everything.
Yeah,
we're really excited to have you on here. And as Jethro said, we do know you through the wonderful world of improv, which we know many of our guests through that world as well. And I met you at the Arcade Comedy Theater. I don't even know how many years ago now it was. 2, 3, 4. Time means nothing anymore.
Yeah, I right, exactly. That sounds right. 2 or 3 or 4. Yeah, it's because I moved to Pittsburgh in 2015, and so I was very eager to participate in the improv community. But it's funny because they're so big and kind of even constantly growing, so that it's kind of like when being taken to like a significant other's family reunion where you have to remember like, oh, okay, and then here's 50 names to remember, and you're just like, hi, hello, and you have conversations, and you're like, I hope I can place this person in this conversation together a week from now.
Yeah, and I good on you if you could, because I certainly never could. I met the same people 6 or 7 times before I knew who they actually were.
I heard a good trick for learning people's names, because I also am bad at human contact generally, but names specifically.
What is it?
So what you do is you imagine, and this only works if they have a name that you've heard that applies to somebody else, but you imagine the person with whose name murdering the new person. So you're like, oh, there's Brian Gray killing this new Brian that I've just met. His name's Brian. Yeah, it's rather morbid, but I can't wait to try it out.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
I like that your example was Brian Gray, maybe the nicest human on earth. Too.
Oh, but isn't that always the type? Come on.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, that's a good point. Now, Nick, you came into town though with some previous improv experience. Where were you doing your previous improving?
Yeah, I started. I moved to Pittsburgh from Brooklyn, and so I took classes at UCB in New York when it was still there. Still, it feels weird to even say that it's not there anymore. And then also took a bunch of classes and performed regularly at the Magnet Theater. Okay. Just a few blocks over from the old UCB Chelsea Theater, and it was great. It was a lot of fun. That was kind of one of my conditions to moving to from New York, was like there needs to be an improv scene here. And of course, my wife is from Pittsburgh, and when you marry a Pittsburgher, it's ruled that you have to move back to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
As Jethro,
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
And I suppose your wife probably found this out as well.
Yes, she did. Yeah, she learned that pretty quick.
Yeah. It's you got to read the fine print.
Yeah. Well, we moved back to the house that I grew up in, so we really went all the way. We decided if you're going to go, you might as well go all the way. And
my wedding cake had French fries on it, so that was a clue for me.
That's just
that's sweet.
The best way to do it.
Yeah, I assume there's some sort of like special class within Pittsburgh public schools to just learn how to be charming to non-Pittsburghers whenever you do your kind of your sabbatical or whatever.
And sabbatical. when we head out into the world, collect people and come on back.
Yeah. What is it? Like a Rumspringer?
Exactly.
Yin Springer.
Exactly.
We could start calling. I bet we could probably start marketing T-shirts. No problem with that on it. I think we would get away with it.
I'll make the logo. And
perfect.
Not doing anything else.
There you go.
Perfect.
We've got it. We've done it. Let me ask you this real quick. How does the Pittsburgh improv scene compare to? Because I assume New York is just like all performers and artists and things like that. It's got to be like just knock out crazy great up there, right? Like how does it compare?
You know what? It's certainly more competitive. Like, I think the people that get into improv in New York kind of come from a wider base too. Like, cause like, I think generally like, kind of probably everywhere, in improv, you can kind of get like people who are like, maybe like, oh, I'm like the funniest guy in my group of friends, or, I kind of like dabbled in stand up, or maybe, maybe someone who like, maybe writes sketches and stuff like that. I think tend to be kind of like the core group of people who end up in improv. And so you definitely have those in New York as well, but you also have people who are like, I've like been studying acting my entire life, or I've been like, there's like a surprising number of like models in improv, which was like a very bizarre thing. Like,
my agent told me I needed this on my resume.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like trying to like become, actresses or actors and or just actors. Yeah. And so that was another thing. Which was funny because I was like good at it. And so like people who were like beautiful, gorgeous people who like rule outside of those four walls of the improv class would be like, hey, that was really great. And I'd be like, you shouldn't be talking to me. Like,
yeah,
you should have, just be lauded and just, carried around on people's shoulders for just being a beautiful human being.
Yeah. I think being beautiful is antithetical to being good at comedy. I feel like because people will laugh at you because they want to fuck you and not because your bits are funny. And so it skews your like your
bits are funny.
There you go. Yeah. It's just I feel like comedy is the one place where ugly people could thrive, and we should keep it that way, quite frankly.
Yeah, exactly. Let us have this one thing, please. But yeah, I don't know. So there's that. It's more competitive, wider base. I think too, like it benefits. There's just like such amazing instructors from kind of with all different styles. I think is another big thing that kind of allows people to kind of be hit from different angles in regards to their instruction. But overall, I mean, I think there's talent everywhere. There's funny people everywhere. Like certainly, it's not like people are going to the big city to laugh, or anything like that. Like I think, yeah. So. But I've been very impressed with the scene in Pittsburgh, and I think there's a lot of talent here. Yeah, I don't know, but keeping the talent is kind of tricky too, right? Because sometimes those really funny people are like, "Hey, I want to go to Chicago or New York or LA." So
right,
and make my fortune in the world.
That's right, via improv.
Yeah, those always successful.
Poor naive bastards.
That's right. Yeah, they'll move back with someone they started dating.
That's right. That's right.
How it works.
They'll find it. They'll find their way back.
So, Nick, we need a destination for our journey today, and I hope you brought something interesting because you're a worldly man. You're knowledgeable about so many things. You have varied hobbies and interests.
That's right. I'm been all over the place. So I got one for you. This one I thought was just a very charming thing. I wonder if you guys have heard of it. It's this dog Hachiko, and it's a dog who it was an Akita dog, and it would lived in Tokyo with its owner, and he would basically wait for his owner to get done with work and get off the subway in at like the Shibuya crossing. It's like the crazy crosswalk that probably everybody's seen like in Japan, in Tokyo. And yeah, this dog was just extremely loyal and would like wait for his owner to get home every day. And from that, so this happened, I guess, for a long time. And then the owner passes away and the dog remains at this station. And so he's it was like years afterwards that this dog continued to like just stay there waiting for his owner. And people were so taken by this, and it was like such a sweet story that they created a statue in just off of the that subway stop for Shibuya. And yeah, it's I don't know, it's really cool, but yeah, it's very charming and like very like kind of quaint and you know, kind of heartwarming story in the midst of like absolute chaos. Like there's just so many people at this stop and everybody's going everywhere, and it's just like lights and like tall buildings and all this stuff. And like, you know, like even just reading it, you feel like you're just kind of like swimming upstream sort of thing, like to just even be able to read something. But the little placard or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. It was kind of a cool thing that, and I actually saw it. I went. It's been maybe 10 or 15 years ago to Tokyo and saw a bunch of stuff there, and that being one of them.
Mm-hmm. Wow. And so I'm sorry, give me that name one more time. And actually, do you know how to spell it by any chance?
I do. Yeah, I had to look it up because I couldn't remember the name, to be honest. But it's Hachiko. It's HACHIKO.
All right. Wow. Well, I have not heard this story. I think I've seen that particular crosswalk sped up in like, you know, where they like they speed up the film and people walk across it very quickly, and then they, you know, they exit and things like that. But that's all I know of it. Jethro, have you ever heard of Hachiko before?
I have not. Is Hachiko still with us?
No. Let's see. This. Oh yeah, no. He's been gone for almost 100 years now.
Oh. So this was a very long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay. I see. Okay. So it wasn't it, or well, maybe no. It wouldn't have been the subway at that point. It just happens to be at that station. I mean, there wasn't a subway 100 years ago, was there? 1921.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Subways are just trains that are underground.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know that there was a subway. I mean, yeah, definitely subways existed 100 years ago.
I mean, I guess that makes sense. I guess I know the New York subway's older than that, so I guess it makes sense that one in Tokyo would be as well. So,
considering their history, though, that's what's happened in the last 100 years. Like, you know, it's probably been at very least rebuilt or moved or something. So,
right, yeah. Huh. Well, cool. This is fascinating. And I have absolutely no idea how we're going to get to that, but that's our job. That's our goal. Yeah, very cool stuff. And you said you saw the plaque that was there for him, or the statue. I guess you saw the statue.
The statue, yeah. And I was actually now just like questioning myself. Did I read it, or did I like? Because I was trying to think, would it be in? There's a surprising amount of English in Tokyo, but I want to say the placard has an English translation on there as well.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know if that's a thought I just put in my own head or if that's real. So maybe I'll do my own podcast about me just trying to remember things that
spin-off. Yeah. That's it. Let me know if you need a badly designed logo. I'm happy to put something together.
Perfect.
It's a great idea. I love it.
Right.
Very cool.
Cool.
Awesome.
Well, yeah, good luck, fellas. I hope I'm hoping for 5 or fewer, I guess, to bring down the average. Or I guess this season it should be 4 or fewer.
Yeah, I don't know that that's going to happen, and for this particular one, but that's okay because I think it's you know, as you may know, we get to predict how many steps it's going to take us, and then whichever one of us gets closer to that, the actual number kind of wins the week. And Jethro has won quite a few this season, and I have not. So I am hoping for something that's a little different than our normal number, just to play with his head
I've got
so I got
a very special number. I'm guessing this week, Matt.
Oh gosh. Okay. That's great.
Really amazing.
Okay. Nice. Well, so then what's everybody's guess?
Oh, well, we can't tell you because we don't reveal to each other until the end of the episode.
I see.
Okay. But if you listen, you'll be able to find out.
I don't need to.
No, it's okay. It's not really big of a deal. Yeah, probably forget about it by the time you hang up. That's a good point.
All right then. Cool. Well, thank you, I guess.
No. What a lovely way to leave you all.
Always good to be put in our place. That's how I see it. That's how I feel about it. No, it's been a pleasure having you on, man. And thanks again for the logo, and thanks again for this awesome topic. And I hope that we get to see you again soon.
Yeah, sounds good. All right. Well, good luck, guys.
Cheers.
And we'll talk to you soon.
All right.
Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, then. So we have some guesses to make here, Matt.
Yes, we do. And knowing that we're going to try to avoid a geographic route, which seems like the most obvious path, just because I don't know how the Falkirk wheel and Hachiko, I don't know how they would relate in any way, but well, I'm gonna give it a guess here. So,
all right, then.
I've written down an estimate, and also Jethro, I'm having a drink as we walk here.
As am I
this evening. So what are you having?
So we had the lovely folks on from Penelope Bourbon last week. So I am riding strong with the Penelope Bourbon cask strength.
Oh boy,
bourbon, and I'm having a little bit of that.
Okay. Well, I brought a new bourbon this week.
Yeah.
One that I'd never had before, called Smooth Ambler Contradiction Bourbon.
Ooh.
And it has a picture of an elephant on a cask. And this is a blended whiskey that comes from West Virginia, Tennessee, and Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
So they've kind of taken these straight bourbons and blended them together. And this is from batch 392 and was bottled by Jordan, handwritten on the back of my label here. So it's a tasty little bourbon. I have to say, it's not a cask strength. It's only a 92 proof, but a tasty, delectable treat.
All right, then you're carrying us through this episode then, since I'm on the cask strength.
That's right. Yeah. So I think we should get rolling here and see what we can do with the Falkirk wheel to Hachiko. I'm pronouncing that right? Hachiko?
You're asking the wrong guy. Let's assume, yeah. Sure, why not?
I'm pretty sure that's what he said. I'm looking at it, and that's how I want to pronounce it. So I'm going to say that that's right. So again, I mean, this is a dog, right?
It is.
So I feel like if we can find any kind of connection to animals or dogs, I mean, is this dog famous enough to be linked on like a famous dog page, of which there must be one, right?
Well, it's certainly, but also like the idea of like a very loyal dog, so loyal to its owner that its loyalty extends beyond the grave. I feel like that's a story I've heard before. Not necessarily about this dog, but because it is, an exemplar of what we want to believe dogs are. And I have two dogs, and one of the dogs, I have no doubt, will be faithful to me after I die, should I predecease it. But the other dog, like if I take a long nap, he's like, he's made of meat. Let's eat him.
Right. Get him.
We'll have no loyalty whatsoever. But because it's a feel-good story, I feel like it's the kind of thing that could very well be on a list of famous dogs page.
Yeah. So, I mean, that seems like the most obvious path in assuming that we could get to some sort of famous dog page. But I guess there's also a path in through like subway systems.
Yeah.
Now I don't remember the name of the actual. Do you happen to write down the name of the stop?
I did. Shibuya Crossing.
Okay. So perhaps there's a path through there, since this is an engineering marvel here that we're starting with at the Falkirk wheel. For those that don't recall, it's kind of a it's not called a lock, it's called a boat lift. And it lifts the boat out, and then it goes across this little man-made channel that's been built, and then to the next lake, I guess. Is that what it connect? It connects two canals. Excuse me, two canals. So maybe there's something about transportation that we can be going through as well.
Certainly a possibility. I feel like since we are in Scotland, I would be remiss to not mention the Scotty dog, which is a famous breed of dog that is associated with the geography that we are currently at.
Sure.
So might be able to get to a Scotty dog and take the K9 route for there.
Oh, interesting idea. I kind of like that. Do you see anything on this page that would link us to that other than Scotland itself?
No, I do not. Sadly, I do see a link to the Victoria and Albert Museum in London, and I know that the royals are known for their keeping of hounds and stuff.
Oh.
So there might be a canine connection in through the royal family in that way.
That's a possibility. You know what else? You know what I see is there is there's a bunch of categories at the bottom, one of which is transport infrastructure completed in 2002. So I guess there's a possibility that there's a subway on there, but I see the Smithsonian Channel linked on here. Now, I understand that this may be grasping at straws, but the Smithsonian Channel seems like the type of channel that would have a special about dogs. You know what I'm saying? Or at the very least, history, which would then get us into World War II to Japan. Although I guess that's kind of geographical, so that may not be the way to go. But that's a possibility. At least the Ferris wheel is on here. If you like Ferris wheels, I
do like Ferris wheels, which started at the Chicago exhibition back in 1899 or something like that. I remember from the book, The Devil in the White City.
Yes. The other thing that I was thinking of, that story made me think of the movie, the Wes Anderson movie, Isle of Dogs, which only because it takes place in Japan and there are dogs. But I'd like to think that there's some connection there. Now, I don't know how we would get to that. Again, maybe the Smithsonian Channel gets us into entertainment gets us to movies, but that it seems like a long drawn out path that way. So
there is a link here directly to Queen Elizabeth II, who famously has a bunch of Yorkies.
That's true.
So I feel like there's likely a link to Yorkies, which gets us into dogs.
Yeah,
pretty quickly through Her Majesty QE2.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, I think I do. I think I like that a lot.
Do you like it more than Lego?
No, honestly, I don't. Also, just the British royal family is linked on here as well, which I think that we're looking at the same path going through either of those. So Lego is a much more interesting idea to go through, and also probably would have a dog link in it somewhere.
Really?
I think so. I mean, hey, did you know that Lego is the largest producer of tires in the world?
I did not know that.
It's true. It's true. It's
They're
one of those weird trivia facts that you
very
learned.
Tiny tires.
Yes, very tiny tires, but they are still considered tires. So they are considered the largest producer of tires in the world. So my point is that they have a wide range of things that are made out of Lego, and perhaps there would be a dog link on there. Although I think that there's a greater chance that the dog link is going to be on the either the British royal family or Queen Elizabeth II.
Yeah, I like Queen Elizabeth II just because it's more specific.
Great. Let's do it.
All right. It's just above the operations section. The opening ceremony refers to Queen Elizabeth II opened the Falkirk wheel as part of her Golden Jubilee celebrations.
And it actually takes you to Elizabeth II.
There we go.
And it turns out that Elizabeth II was born on April 21st, 1926.
Happy birthday.
There you go. Well, I mean, in April. Yes. That means she is 95?
Yeah, she's 95.
Holy cow. Good for her.
Yeah, bravo. Well done.
Yes.
Well done.
Congratulations, I say. Wow, she was married for 73 years.
Yeah, her husband, Prince Philip, just died not too long ago.
Yeah, at the age of 99.
It's
wow.
It's almost like being incredibly wealthy, and the ceremonial head of state affords you a great deal of medical care and privilege that lets you live a long time.
It almost seems that way. I mean, I probably coincidence.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had mentioned that the Smithsonian Channel might get us into World War II. So will Queen Elizabeth II, because she was alive during that time, and her, I mean, England quite involved in that Second World War. So there's quite a bit about the Second World War, although mostly Europe. In fact, maybe all Europe on this page. It looks like, yeah. I mean, we could obviously get into World War II to get to Japan, but again,
we've traveled that path, Matt.
Yeah.
We didn't come here to go on familiar routes. Although I will say that there is a section under public perception and character where it talks about her main leisure activities, and they say leisure in England, not leisure.
Sure.
Her main, I don't know. I know a lot about British people. I'm sure you don't know that much. So many things. Her main leisure activities include equestrianism and dogs, especially her Pembroke Welsh Corgis, which is linked. So Pembroke Welsh Corgis are a link here on the page.
But dogs isn't linked?
Dogs does not appear to be linked.
Oh, that's a shame, because that could have cut us out a step there, I think. We didn't actually find out what breed of dog this dog was.
He said it was an Akita.
Oh, he did. You're right. You're absolutely right. That was one of the first things he told us.
You got to listen carefully. And I immediately,
you're right.
That resonated with me because there's an Akita referenced in the Broadway musical Rent. Whenever I can bring up the Broadway musical Rent, I'm bound to. So.
Oh, I know you love to do that. Yeah. And it's also a very famous anime movie, I'm pretty sure. Akira.
I gotcha. That's a great joke. We all enjoyed that. Don't worry. We can edit that out. We can edit.
Can we? I don't think that we can.
Totally take it out. So I'm down with Pembroke Welsh Corgis as a clickable link, unless you have a desire to keep pouring over the Queen.
Well, I am checking quickly just to make sure that maybe dog itself isn't linked on here, or there isn't some story about her meeting a famous dog like Lassie or Rin Tin Tin or something along those lines, because James Bond is linked on here. We've got Bond Girl, we've got COVID-19, we've got VE Day. I mean, it runs the gambit here. So I was thinking that there's a chance that there would be something else on here that related even more specifically to where we were headed, rather than just a breed of dog. Because, I mean, we're probably just going to go from that breed of dog into dogs, right? And then we're going to have to try to get to famous dogs from dogs. And gosh, does that even exist? I don't know.
Of course there are famous dogs.
No. Of course there are famous dogs. Is there a Wikipedia page called Famous Dogs? And if there is, does this dog appear? That's what I'm saying.
That's a great question. There's only one way to find out, though. Onward.
Okay. All right. So you want to go through the corgis. Are you going to go through royal corgis, or are you going to go through the actual breed name that they have on there, the Pembroke Welsh.
Pembroke Welsh Corgis. I did not see royal corgis linked.
So the next sentence, her lifelong love of corgis, and love of corgis is linked, and you get to royal corgis through there.
Interesting, because that is a different article that it goes to when you hover over the link, where the Pembroke Welsh Corgi dog's owned by Elizabeth II and her parents. So it's a risk. If we go to the royal corgis, those are going to be famous dogs. So we might get to famous dogs more quickly through that.
That's true.
But there's also going to be a bunch of dog related links on that page, one would think.
Well, my concern with Love of Corgis is that it's going to be a very short page, that the royal corgis page is going to be like, she had a bunch of royal corgis.
Yes.
Story. You know what I mean? Like, that's my concern about royal corgis, but I don't know.
The biggest benefit I see of that is that it could be slightly more likely to link to famous dogs? Because they are famous dogs.
Name me one of the Royal Corgis.
But I can't name you one of the Budweiser Clydesdales, but they're still famous. I mean,
I don't know. I am more inclined to go through the actual breed, I think, but certainly if we go through Royal Corgis, we can get back to the breed if we need to. So if you feel like it's worth taking that extra step, potentially, I can do it.
I feel like Royal Corgis are more famous, and we're going to get to famous dogs quicker because we don't really want to go through dogs. We want to get to this one particular dog.
No, I understand. I am with you. All right, Royal Corgis it is. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Oh, and look at this. It's a beautiful long page. Not so much.
It is. Well, it's not the shortest page we've been to. So that I will say.
This is true.
I do see Cocker Spaniel is linked on here, and they are named, but not linked to, of course.
Bisto, Oxo, Flash, Spick, and Span.
Yeah.
And 4 Dorgies, Dachshund Corgi crossbreeds.
In the Queen, having been very fond of corgis since she was a small child, having fallen in love with the corgis owned by the children of the Marquess of Bath, King George VI brought home Dookie in 1933.
It's an unfortunate name.
Yeah, but Dookie is linked. So that is a specific dog, a specific famous dog that is linked. Oh gosh, here's Susan, also a famous dog that is linked. So, I mean, I'm not seeing famous dogs in here. I know I see Dachshund on here, crossbreed, horse whisperer. But there are some names of dogs on here, which Queen Victoria's Pets is on here, the Queen's Corgis, horses of Elizabeth II. But I'm not seeing famous dogs.
That is a shame. Feels like a missed opportunity.
Yeah, it does feel that way, doesn't it? There's Dookie and Susan. Those are the two that are linked on here. Pets of the British royal family is a category that you can get to, and dogs in the United Kingdom is a category that you can get to. But no famous dogs situation. Now, is the word dogs just linked on here anywhere?
Possibly.
I don't see it now that I'm looking. Again, specific breeds, yes. Dogs, no.
Cocker Spaniels is linked, as you mentioned, as is
Dachshund. Cocker Spaniel and Dachshund is also linked.
So what do you like better? Do you like going through a breed, or do you like going through a particular famous dog, hoping that will get us to a list of famous dogs?
Well, I mean, your argument before was that famous dogs is the better path to take. All right, so that happened this time. Will it happen next time? I don't know. Oh, English Bull Terrier is on here as well. Let's point that out.
We can all. So if we go, and I can't believe I'm saying this.
Yeah.
If we go to Dookie, if Dookie doesn't get us a list of famous dogs, then we can always take the breed route out of Dookie.
That is true. So you want to chance it one more time, is what you're saying.
I love it. There's a Dookie link down at the bottom. It's funny because it's a synonym for poop.
Yeah, that is funny because of that. All right, let's go to Dookie. Let's duke it up. Dookie, all right. Dookie, and parentheses dog, just to disambiguate there.
There we go.
But what there is not on here is a disambiguation page for Dookie, which I am sorry to see.
Quite frankly very grateful.
Are you?
And also,
there would be though, right?
This is a rather short page.
This is a super short page.
There's not a lot here at all, which is sadly a shame. There's a link to Queen Elizabeth's Corgis, which will take us back to the page we were just at. There's a link to Susan. There's Canadian Parliamentary Cats.
Yes.
There's the Office of Chief Mouser to the Cabinet Office, United Kingdom, Hermitage Cats in St. Petersburg, Russia, which gets us a little further to the east, the Pets of Vladimir Putin.
Yep.
The Cats of the President of Taiwan.
Well, wait, you skipped Tibbs the Great.
Oh, I did skip Tibbs
the
Great.
British Post Office's #1 cat, and kept the post office headquarters in London completely mouse-free during his 14 years of service.
This is true.
Completely mouse-free. So I'm just saying.
So there is a link at the bottom under categories for individual dogs.
There's a link to just dog up at the top as well. Just the specific, like the article for dog, which I am more inclined to go to simply because I hate going to category pages, and you know about me very little, but this I don't like going to category pages. So I would like to go to dog, but what is your argument for going to individual dogs?
So if our friend Hachiko is famous enough as an individual dog to be listed there, then I think the Wikipedia page could have, he's famous enough to have a Wikipedia page.
Yeah.
Right. How many individual dogs have their own Wikipedia page? 100?
I have no idea. I couldn't even guess.
All right.
I couldn't even guess, but it's a category. It feels cheap. It feels dirty. It feels like we're cheating.
I don't feel any guilt at all about category pages, but you do. And that's fine. If where is dog linked?
It's at the very
species.
top. It's on the right-hand side in the little box.
Okay. If you prefer going through dog rather than individual dog, that's fine. But I suspect that we're going to end up at a list of individual dogs in some way, shape, or form.
You think so, huh?
I do. Because how else are we going to get there from the broad topic of dog?
No, I understand.
But it's possible we could get there without going through a category page, which is the thing that seems to have your bee in a bonnet.
That is what my bee is in my bonnet.
Your bee is wearing a bonnet, and it's not a flattering bonnet, and it can't fly now because the bonnet's too
without
heavy.
a bee in the bonnet, it's just an on it. So I'm gonna say I want to go through dog simply because I don't want to go through a category page.
All right, let's do it then. Dog,
it's not a page. It's just a list, and I don't love lists. But I'll tell you what. Later we'll go back. We'll take a look.
I love it.
It was on there. I owe you a Coke. How's that sound?
Dr. Pepper, but that's fine. Thank you.
All right. Well, same difference.
I am from the South, so we call everything Coke down there. So.
Yeah. Well, right. Exactly. So see, there you go. All right. So we're on the dog page. And what I'd like to see here is some kind of reference to famous dogs, dogs from history, or dogs people like, something along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
You see anything like that?
There is a link under See Also. First of all, there's lists of dogs.
Straight to See Also. That's where you headed. Okay.
I scrolled down very quickly.
Sure.
Then I was also taken by the idea of synanthropy, which is in psychiatry, the pathological delusion of real persons that they are dogs.
Oh.
Which sounds very interesting.
Okay.
That is interesting. There is also a dogs portal, which the link, when you hover over it, it says portal : dog. So I don't know if a portal page is something we've yet been to, or if it's a particular type of page in Wikipedia. But that's a possibility.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, what's interesting to me about this page is that it is shorter than, like, this is dog. This is like dog. Mm-hmm. And it is shorter than like the Beatles. Right. So, like, despite the fact that this is encompassing every dog ever in the world, it's shorter than a 4-person rock musical group. That's just funny to me. I find that entertaining.
It's violently entertaining. It's wonderful. So if you scroll,
do you love it?
I do. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom, they have those little boxy things. So they have a section for breeds, list of breeds. So we could get to Akita from there. But we also have a human dog interaction section, which includes a couple of intriguing links. One of which is famous dogs.
Oh,
yes. Which there are dog type lists. And another one is I saw it, where'd it go? Human canine bond.
Yes, there's a link up here for man's best friend.
And does it link to human canine bond?
No, it links to man's best friend, a common phrase used to describe domestic dogs, referring to the millennia-long history of close relations, loyalty, friendship, and companionship with humans. The first recorded use of the related phrase is blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, so I think human canine bond could get us to famous examples of really loyal dogs.
Oh yeah, you don't like man's best friend?
I don't.
As that same path?
I don't, because I think that, first of all, I'm a contrarian, so I'm going to argue with you just for the sake of doing it.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
But also, it sounds like that is more about the phrase "man's best friend" and less about the bond between a man and his dog. That is what we're ultimately looking for.
Interesting. I guess I feel like it would that we would see that connection on there as well. But perhaps you're right. So I'm looking under cultural importance right now to see if there's anything under there, because there are a lot of references to specific dogs. Laika, the dog, is on here, the first dog into space. Rico, a dog which Max Planck did tests for intelligence on. So I was looking for those types of things as well. But so you're saying, where was this? Where was this link that you saw?
Scroll all the way to the bottom. There's a table that has a list of a bunch of.
I see under behavior. Yeah. I see it. Okay. All right. So, and we're sure that there's types, breeds. I see roles, companion dogs. Oh, I guess that's going to be more of like a service dog type of thing, right?
Yeah, I would think.
Human dog interaction. Wow, a lot of in there. Okay, well, I could go with human canine bond. I could be down with that.
All right, let's do it.
Human canine bond is an actual link that you probably never knew existed on Wikipedia.
And boy, is this a short page.
It is a short page.
It's disappointing. It's very disappointing.
Yeah. There are some. This seems to be about more general. Not a lot of specifics in here.
I would have thought that it had a list of examples of super friendly pups.
Yeah, that doesn't seem to be the case. We do have the same list of categories and things like that we just had. So I guess we could go to breeds, but I guess now I'm concerned that, well, I guess my hope is that if we got to that breed, there would be a link out of it. But gosh, not great. Not on this page. Certainly not on this page.
And not at all. It's a sham. I immediately regret my decision.
Interspecies friendship is on here. And if you mouse over that, please do, because there's a picture of a goat and a cat just hanging out. It's an actual photo, folks. It's not a drawn thing. It's a photo.
I do like that they clarify that it is a non-sexual bond.
Yes.
Because some goats and cats take it a little too far, if you know what I mean. Dog behavior.
No, that's not going to. They're not going to come up with that. I mean, if it's not on this page as an example, it ain't going to be on that page as an example, right? So
yeah.
Now, man's best friend is linked on here again.
I mean, do you feel like man's best friend is going to give us any better?
I guess my hope is that it's going to have examples on it, but after seeing this, maybe not.
Yeah, I think it's going to talk about the phrase, quite frankly, more than I mean, I think dog behavior is a possibility. I think did you see a list to breeds?
Yeah, breeds is at the bottom. That's the same table that was on the last page is here that got us to this page.
A list of breeds.
There's list of breeds. There's a list of breeds that we could definitely go through. There's pure breeds. There's most popular. There's extinct breeds, cross breeds, mixed breeds. You really, I followed you here. You won't go to man's best friend. You really don't think?
I mean, if you want to go to Man's Best Friend, we can. I suspect that we're not going to get any further towards our friend, but I will follow you because I have clearly had a couple of unhelpful suggestions in a row. So it might as well be your turn to have one.
You know what's interesting to me? There's maybe that must be the same page. Yeah, I guess that's the same page. It looked like the word dogs took us to a different page than the one that dog took us to, but I don't think it does. I think it's the same page.
Yeah. Yeah.
So here's my feeling is that it may add a link to do this, but I do think that Man's Best Friend has a chance of having this dog mentioned on it. And it will probably also have the same table at the bottom that this one has, right?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
It adds a link. Let's go to Man's Best Friend. Come on.
Let's do it. Man's Best Friend.
Let's be a part of this.
Here we go. So just
Man's Best Friend. I'm never right. So
it does not have the table at the bottom. So
perfect. Oh, great. Perfect. That's good. Oh no. Well, there are examples here though. I do have to say, Argos and Odysseus is in here. There's a lot of fictional examples.
Yeah. Voltaire, Ogden Nash.
Yeah.
Attorney George Graham Vest.
Yeah. Oh boy. Well, yep. I'm afraid I've taken us once again in the wrong direction. It is all about the term. You're absolutely correct. You predicted it. It was true. And now we're sunk.
And now we don't have a way out.
We don't have a way out except to go to a category page called dogs as pets.
Yeah.
That's the only way out of here. Because, well, we could go back to dogs, or we could go to lap dog, which is linked here. But
I like dogs as pets.
Dogs as pets as the category page.
Yeah, because I'm not seeing anything else that's remotely similar.
I mean, you could potentially go through Argos, which is Odysseus's faithful dog, and then get into famous dogs potentially again. Like we should have gone through famous dogs the last time. That clearly was the mistake. So what are you going to do? But you think the category, and at this point I'm like, okay, let's go through the category because I messed us up. So
let's, you know what? I like the challenge. Let's go through Argos.
Really?
You're the one who suggested it. I'm just agreeing with you.
Well, it's a possibility that it's going to take us to famous dogs, but there's also, look, when I mouse over it, it literally has one sentence on it.
Okay.
So that may be all that's on that page.
That's not going to be all that's on the page.
Why isn't there more than one sentence then?
Because that's showing what's above the thing. Come on. It's not even showing the full picture.
Oh boy.
Argos, come on. Be bold.
Oh boy.
Be bold.
Oh, yikesies.
Come on. Be bold.
All right, let's do it.
All right, Argos. Here we go. See, there's more than one sentence.
Is there a list of famous dogs on this page? Because if there's not.
After 10 years, oh.
What?
See also.
Oh my God.
Hachiko.
There he is.
A real life dog who waited for his dead owner years after his master has died. So just a little background. After 10 years of fighting in Troy, followed by 10 more years of struggling to get home to Ithaca, Odysseus finally arrives at his homeland. In his absence, reckless suitors have blah, 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 blah. And where does it mention the goddamn dog? Argos recognizes Odysseus. So this is a story about a dog recognizing his owner after his owner has been away a while. And there is a link to Hachiko, our friend.
There is, as well as a link I have to point out to Jurassic Bark, a fantastic episode of Futurama, in which a very similar type of thing happens. But I don't believe it. He's here. He's here.
Matt, would you like to know what else there's a link to here?
What's that?
Greyfriars Bobby, who was a Skye Terrier who became known in 19th century Edinburgh for spending 14 years guarding the grave of his owner. So we were already in Scotland. We were probably so close to Greyfriars Bobby that's probably the best route. But let's go to Hachiko here. We've waited so long. And what a beautiful little fellow. What a good boy he is.
Yeah.
What a good boy.
1934, that photo is from. He was born in 1923. He died in 1935.
Look at that. And there are bronze statues of him. There's an annual ceremony on March 8th.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
This is something else. I can't believe. Well, boy, oh boy, did I ever think that we were barking down the wrong tree?
Well, I tell you what, Matt, if you died, I would wait at the Drunkard's Walk destination forever.
Oh, would you?
For you to get there.
Oh,
yes,
thanks, man. That's really nice of you to say that. I appreciate that.
Quite my pleasure.
All right. Well, we have arrived, so it is time to take a look at our predictions.
All right. What do you got this week?
This week I went a little higher. I went with 7.
Oh shit.
What'd you go with?
I also went
7.
With 7.
Oh no. And it was 8.
Oh man.
8.
All right. You know what that means.
Oh, unfortunately I do.
All right.
Oh, God, I lose these every single time. I don't know why. I should just give it to you and just walk away now.
All right. I've got mine.
All right. What? I haven't even gone back to Falkirk. Wait, are you going to go through Scotland?
I can't tell you what I'm doing.
Well, you can actually, because I'm
going through Edinburgh.
Yeah, that's what I was going to go through. So we got to do a coin flip for this one.
All right. Even though I said it first.
So I got this Penguins Pog right here that I flipped last week for our thing. Heads will be the side with the Penguins logo, and tails will be the blank side. Okay. Call it in the air. Oh, wait, hold on. It didn't flip because these are tough because they're cardboard. Call it
tails.
It is tails. So you get Edinburgh, but that gives me a little bit of time to look for something else. Which
you've got 15 seconds.
No. That's not the way it works at the beginning.
That's exactly how it works.
No. Don't try to change the rules here. In the beginning, we both have time to find our thing, and then we go.
Oh, is that how it works?
Yes, absolutely. That's how it works. All right. So you're going through Edinburgh, and I'm screwed because that's definitely going to be the fastest route. But I guess I talked about it before, so I'm going to go through the Smithsonian Channel. Let's do it.
Okay, you got it. Then.
There we go. We're on our way. Right.
Oh my God. I cannot believe it.
What, is it on that page?
I've got mine.
Oh no, are you serious? Oh God, it's just on the page, isn't it?
Another well-known Edinburgh resident was Greyfriars Bobby.
On a fucking coin flip. I don't believe it. Well, you know what? I'm going to take my sweet old time looking through this Smithsonian page then.
All right, you've got 15 seconds.
No, I'm taking forever because you've already got your path and it's all done and it's over and I don't even know why I'm bothering anymore. Ugh, this just
Come on.
blows.
Just pull the Band-Aid off, Matt. Pull it off.
No, hold on. I'm going to find something really good in here. Something that people really appreciate.
All right. Take your time.
Smithsonian Channel. Hold on. I'm almost there. Let's do none of these are good. This is all bullshit. All right, I got mine. I'm going through Viacom CBS.
All right, fantastic. All right, I've got mine. Hachiko. Boom. We're done.
That sucks. That's such garbage.
Well, they don't call him man's best friend for nothing. Well, Matt.
Well, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna file a complaint with the Home Office, and we're gonna see if we can't get this taken off the board because it just seems unfair. A lot of people at home are rioting. I can hear it.
What's unfair about it?
We're gonna get a lot of letters.
You know who you sound like? You sound like Donald Trump on the day after the election. That's who you sound like.
How dare you, sir? How dare you?
How dare you? Listen,
Collusion.
I you know what you're proving to me, Matt, is that despite the years we've known each other and the joy we've shared on stage and off performing together, that clearly you're not man's best friend. That man's best friend is clearly a dog, because I've got 2 dogs waiting to just lick my face and shower with me undeserved affection. And if I've learned anything today, it's that dogs are better people than people are.
Did you say they were going to shower with you?
they were going to shower me with undeserved affection. And what if I choose to shower with my dogs? What of it? They're walking around naked all day.
We got to call some people. Hi, everybody. Thanks so much again for listening to Drunkard's Walk. A big thank you to Jesse L.E. for our theme music and Nick Jaramillo, not just for our artwork, but for being our guest this week. Of course, another big thank you to all of you for listening. Remember, give us that rating and review on iTunes or wherever you're listening to this podcast. Go over to our Patreon, sign up there if you'd like to support the podcast, and just keep on listening because we got some great stuff coming up later on in the season. Thanks so much. Take care. Hey, everybody. I'm Matt Hartman, and this is Overtime. Each week, I'm going to give you a little extra knowledge about something that happened in the past during the week of our release. This week, we look at the week of November 9th, and I'm going to take you back to November 12th, 1970, and a coast town in Oregon called Florence. This is a story you may be familiar with. It's been written about many times by notable humorists, and it involved a beached whale. About 3 days prior, a 45-foot-long sperm whale, estimated at weighing some 7,300 kilograms, washed up on the beach. It was up to Oregon's Highway Division at that time to deal with such things. So, after discussing with the U.S. Navy, the decision was made to remove the animal carcass using dynamite. Yep, the decision was to blow up the rotting carcass, the intention being that the pieces that were left over would be small enough that scavengers would take care of them. So, on November 12th, George Thornton, who was put in charge of the operation because his superior had gone hunting that day, guessed that they should use about 1/2 short ton or 450 kilograms of dynamite. Having never done something like this before, he wasn't sure, but that's what he came up with. Now, it's reported that a military veteran with explosives experience was on the scene, but not in a formal capacity, and warned these 20 cases of dynamite were way too much, and that they'd only need about 12 sticks, but he was ignored. So, at 3:45 p.m. local time, the dynamite was detonated. Now, if you've never heard of this or never seen it, you're in luck because there was a news crew on the scene and video footage exists of this explosion. You can find it online. And as Paul Lindman of KATU TV in Portland reported, the blast blasted blubber beyond all believable bounds. Pieces of the whale flew some 240 meters away, and much of the whale remained on the beach to be cleared away by the highway workers. Some of those pieces fell in a parking lot nearby, and our veteran explosives expert, his car was pretty seriously damaged by one of those pieces. Thornton, again, who was in charge, said that it went off pretty much as planned, and he never really regretted the decisions that were made. But when 41 sperm whales beached 9 years later nearby, the Park Service burned and buried them. Tough to say which way was better, but at least the burning didn't lead to any damage to cars and buildings. So, that's your whale of a tale for this week. We'll see you next time.